For those going back to work after having a baby, one of the biggest concerns, the major concern, is who is going to look after my child, and also weighing up the cost of that care over the amount of care that's being provided. Working mum Angela Hogg opted for an au pair, and she is not on her own. She joins me now with her 19-year-old au pair from Germany, Julia Kuhner. Good morning to you both. Thank you both very much for coming in. Angela, why choose, and a lot more people are choosing an au pair now, over the other choices that you had?
Well, for my family, when looking about childcare for my daughter Eden, we couldn't really stomach the thought of daycare option. While I did investigate
that... So dropping your child
off
somewhere was not an option?
Not really, not one that I was comfortable with. I considered a New Zealand nanny as well. That was probably a little bit too expensive.
Give us an idea of the cost for a New Zealand nanny.
About $20 per hour.
Right, right. Versus an au pair, the other choice, which is becoming more popular, at about $200 a week.
That's right. Well, that's the money that we give to Julia for her pocket money each week, but we also provide her with food and board, and we also pay, obviously, tax obligations.
Sure. When you say tax obligations, what do you mean by that?
Well, we are her employer, so we have to pay tax.
You have to set yourselves up as employers.
That's right.
I suppose the big compromise you're making with an au pair that you're not making in those other areas is that you have another human being living in your house. How big a compromise was that for you?
That was a concern when we were looking at the option, but we thought, well, we'd just try it and see how it worked. And actually, at the end of the day, having another person in our home has been very easy. Julia's very independent. She has a great social life, so she gets out and about a lot, and we've found the situation to work very well for us. Well,
let's find out what's in it for Julia. Julia, you finished school in Germany.
Right.
You wanted to take a bit of a year off. Why did you decide to put yourself on the market as an au pair?
Well, just, I love to work with kids since I'm, little. At school, I was always really into work with kids, and I just wanted to get out and see the world, and that was probably like my first really chance to do that, and so I took it.
So you filled out a form, you went to a company, and you just ticked boxes. New Zealand was one of them. How did you choose the countries that you might want to work in?
Well, I knew I wanted to improve my English skills, which meant I have to go in an English-speaking country. So I did that, and I just decided New Zealand for me because it's just so far away and just total different culture.
Is it a huge risk for both of you? Because you have to get on. You're here with this family for a year. They have to be nice. If they're not nice, it would be like a prison sentence, wouldn't it?
But that's why I came with an agency, because I knew if something is really wrong, I still can change and go into another family if it just doesn't work out.
And the same for you, of course, that this has to be a nice person. You're sharing your house with them.
Yes, well, we're lucky that it has worked out that way. I mean, there's good screening before the au pairs come. You get the opportunity to interview them over the phone, over Skype, and the decision of who you choose is ultimately yours, so you have a lot of say in that, and you do get a good feel for the person by doing those things.
You're responsible for more than just their working life, of course, because they are living with you. They're strangers in the country. Perhaps language might be a bit of an issue, although obviously in this case it really isn't. What can you get them to do? I mean, could you say, we're going away for a week, whip up on the roof and paint it for us?
No, Julia's here primarily to provide care for our daughter while we're at work.
Are there strict rules?
There are rules about the hours that she can work and the duties that she does. So she's not here to be my housekeeper, but she does provide care for Eden and does chores relating to Eden. So that includes doing her washing, tidying her room, changing her sheets.
How about things like shopping and that? Would she go with you to help you shop and things, or...?
She doesn't, because it doesn't really work that way in our family. It hasn't had to happen, but I understand that in some families they do the grocery shopping during the week for the family.
Julia, you actually head back. You've almost finished your year. You've got about 3 more weeks to go.
Yeah.
What memories will you take with you?
Just the memories of the best year of my life, I think, just, on the other side of the globe. And I did so many things which I never thought I would do, like skydiving and stuff like that. And it just was a great year. And I know that I've grown a lot and my English improved, so
Your English is fantastic. And I suppose you'll keep in touch. People always say that, don't they? But I mean, that's a pretty close year, isn't it? I suppose you'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, well, Julia's been an important part of our family for a year, so I have no doubt that we'll stay in touch.
All right. Thank you both very much for joining us. That is Julia Kuhner and Angela Hogg. Becoming much, much more popular. In fact, people that organise nanny courses are a weeny bit worried.
Well, I suppose you would be because it's so much cheaper. And can I just say, if that was your daughter Eden, she's gorgeous in those pictures. Wasn't she a sweetie?